I'm here. I'm here with.
Oh, you have a question
I'm
for
here
me?
with a former top striker, Muhammad Umar. And
Yo, what's
today,
going on?
Ahmed, I'd like to interview you as you go and depart on your adventure to India. As you prepare to leave for India, can you describe your emotions, what you're feeling right now, and how they compare to what you've imagined when you first started playing soccer?
Yeah. So basically, as you could tell, right now it's kind of chaotic, kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting mentally ready, getting my head game ready for the 9 hour 5 minute flight. You know,
Right.
I mean, originally yesterday I didn't want to leave at all, and now I'm chilling, just
Right.
seeing what's gonna happen.
Okay. All right. When you look back at your journey so far, what are some of the biggest moments, challenges, and sacrifices that helped you shape you into the player and person you are today?
I believe that one of the biggest sacrifices that I had to do was probably just going to India. You know, that's the big sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's what will change my game up to the next level. That's what it takes. You know, you gotta sacrifice it. You gotta struggle. You gotta go in the depths of India just to
Hmm.
get better at the game.
Right. Okay. For people who may not know your story, can you maybe walk us through how soccer became such an important part of your life, and what has kept you motivated throughout the years, and as a top striker at North Hills to, just you know, walk us through it.
I think that one of the things that kept me motivated was probably the fact that, well, imagine if North Hills 1 year goes from like zero of 11 all the way down to a promising 1 of 11. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 of 11. You know, like the games that we would win. That's the thing that motivated me. You know, beyond anything, if I could win a single game and I could potentially make the team proud, make them happy, that would have been a crazy feat. And as being a top striker, that's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to go to India and just throw yourself in the depths of the slums. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, this trip, to at least for me, it seems like it's more than just football or soccer. It's more about you experiencing like a new country, a new culture and environment. What are you hoping to learn from India, both on and off the pitch?
Okay, so I completely agree with you that it's for a new environment, new culture, right?
Yeah.
As you could tell, that now I've grown up, I've learned a lot of things, but all of the things that I've learned have been in a small scope, and that small scope has been the scope in my country that I lived in. So to be able to broaden my scope and widen the amount of skills that I have and the things I could do, I basically will need to just get a new culture in, get a new culture in, learn new things about it, and because the new culture is important because they help me like open my mind to new things. So some people might tell me saying, hey, maybe you should do this, but I didn't, like for example, let's give a good example here. Maybe you should talk to less people. And the American culture is always be social, do this, right? So if you go to the Indian culture, it's a lot about grinding. So I think that learning about new culture help open your mind more to new solutions and new ways to approach problems.
Okay. Right. So every player, every top striker, in fact, has had someone who's influenced their career in a major way. Who has had the biggest impact on your development, and what lessons from them will you carry on to you to India?
Sorry, repeat the last part.
I said, who has had the biggest impact on your development, and like what lessons from them will you carry to your trip to India?
Okay, so I believe the biggest impact was probably obviously my parents. They came out from the slums of India, and being able to take my talents back to the slums of India will teach me more lessons that my dad could teach me that he originally may have forgotten about. Obviously off the pitch, there's some mental lessons that you need to know and all this other stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what when people watch you play, they see the goals and the top performances,
Yes.
but what they don't always see is the work behind the scenes. Can you maybe describe the preparation, discipline, and the mindset that you have that has helped you reach this point?
I believe that there's a lot of how do I put this in words? There's a lot of quiet suffering. You know, a lot of the times the people would they would usually come up and I would say hi, hello, you know, but I'd be fresh off of training, you know, and no one would know that I was training. It would be like maybe a knock on the door. Hey there, I want to take a picture with you. Sure, man, absolutely, got you. And I'd look super happy, but really inside I was just completely exhausted, tired, dying. You know, there was a lot of solo suffering, and I believe that's one of the best forms of mental training, because that would be able to help you learn that only you can solve your own issues. And so I think that was one of the most biggest things that I've seen a lot and very common is behind the scenes. This has been one of my main, most common form of training that people did not see.
All right, right. So by the time that you board the plane home from India, what experiences, achievements, or like personal growth would you make would make you look back and say, "Damn, like that trip was a complete success." And yeah, what would make you look back?
Okay, so I think one of the biggest things would probably be, even though I have said that exploring the culture and looking more into it, I would say is kind of sitting down alone and being with friends and family, you know, because every once in a while you need to take a good break. I think that I have not been taking a break. I haven't taken a break for around, who knows what, 6 years.
Right.
And so, you know, because of that, I think I need a good long break. Now, I will still be working and doing everything I need to do, but it'll be at the very minimal, you know, maybe like around maybe a few minutes a day even, you know, and it's all about keeping consistent and just enjoying with family and friends. Because again, I still have friends and family over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest ones, just being with family and enjoying my life.
Right. Second to last question I have for you is football, obvious, or soccer, actually, I should say, has had the power to connect people from completely different backgrounds. How excited are you to meet new teammates, coaches, supporters in India? And what do you hope that they take away from you yeah, what do you hope that they take away from you as a person and as a player overall?
So I think that I'm hoping to be able to be recognized and just hi, hello from professional Indian teams. You know, obviously FC India is something that I'm looking up on. You know, FC India, you know, maybe, just maybe, if anywhere, any of them new players from FC Somalia, I may join that. But the team isn't the highest quality that I've heard, so, you know. But I think aside from that, I think that I'm just really there to say hi to my parents and my friends. Those are the real team and players along the way that have really helped me grow, you know.
Yeah.
Aside from these teams in the U.S., you know, you could find them anywhere, but I believe that the players here that I really knew of, like my family members and all of them that have taught me stuff, you know, just
Right.
keep knowing them.
Okay. Final strong question that I have for you, as you before you board on this trip to go to India. Imagine it's several years from now, and you've achieved many of the goals you've been chasing, and when people look back at this trip to India, what do you think they'll say was the most significant moment, or what was the significance of this in your career, your trip?
I believe that one of the most significant things of this trip would probably be, you know, meeting my cousin. I believe that he has some of the similar goals that I do when it comes to multiple different things. And so I like you look at my cousin and they would say, "Oh yeah, he looks like he's from that family," you know.
Hmm.
But there was other significance from the trip, like for example, there. Sorry about that. A fan bothered me. Yeah, I will. I will. Just give me a sec. Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the other things that'll be significant in my trip in India is just being able to see, you know, how much more work can I put in when I'm not supposed to work, you know. That's usually one of the things. You
Okay.
know, how much more difficult will it be working out of country?
Last and final question. Um, I know it might seem a little bit repetitive, but what what do you think would be something that you would take away from this trip that might, because as you're closing off your chapter in North Hills FC, and
Yeah.
you're taking your talent As you're okay, let me restart that. So last and final question. Hold on. I'm gonna edit all this out. I'm gonna edit all this out. Okay. So
All right.
as you close out this chapter in North Hills FC and you try and you're gonna join UTD FC, how do you think? All right, let's go. All right.
All right.
So, as you close out this chapter of yours in North Hills FC and joining UTD FC, how do you think that this India trip will make you more prepared to join UTD FC? And how do you think that'll make you feel differently about your time at North Hills as a player and as a student?
I believe that joining UTFC, UTD, FCD, FCDC, it'll be really an important part of my journey. It'll help me be able to learn and expand my skills beyond what I could have done in India and in FC India. But obviously it would be taking a while. It would take a lot of practice, a lot of skills, but it would just help me remember back in the day whenever I would be training for going into FC. For me to look back on and say, hey, yeah, I remember that. That was FC India.
Anyways, that's all the questions that I had for you. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in this monumental moment and you going to India, taking your talents over there, and you spending some time over there. But it was a very good experience being able to at least interview you and get your input and ask you some questions about your time, and you transitioning teams and you joining these different teams and just like your experiences overall as a player, and just getting to know you a lot better. Because I know a lot of fans might not know the personal you, and they might just see you as just a striker. But we also want to know a little bit more about your personal life, and I'm glad that you were able to share some of those, features of your life. So very grateful for you. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you. This is ESPN
And
Sports.
hopefully one day you'll be able to join me into my trips. You and your co-host Hassan may be able to join us to some future trips to FC India, FC Tel Aviv, FC Netanyahu,
FC
something
Tel
like
Aviv,
that.
yeah. That's our trip next. But we'll see when we'll see when your contract ends at UTD FC. You might be able to join these other clubs. But as of right now, your eyes are on your future. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm very happy that I'm able to have this time with you. So thank you very much. This is ESPN Sports signing out for tonight. More episodes coming in July.
Absolutely. I'll see you later, co-host.